I'm a scientist, you're a scientist.
All right, so this flume right here is representing a construction site. So you may have seen a construction site all around where you live. You may see where people are building houses or areas where they're building new stores. So construction sites are everywhere. So this flume holds soil from a construction site. There used to be a thin layer of topsoil on top of a thick layer of clay soil, and bulldozers have pushed all the trees down and scraped it flat. Now there are no tree roots to hold the topsoil in place. So you can see this is a lot of clay, and I'm actually gonna put my finger in it, and my finger goes right down into it, so it's really soft. It's like peanut butter. It's really gooey. Now, the first thing we need is half a pitcher of rain. There we go, right there, about halfway. Now, the second thing we need is we need half a cup of topsoil. So we've got some topsoil right here. We've got half a cup. And we're gonna put this half a cup of topsoil right here in the middle of this flume. Kind of spread it out just a little bit. So it's not one big, huge mound, but it's all in one spot. Let's go over a few things real quick on our data sheet before we let the rain go. Now, did we read the card? Yes, we read the card. So that is step one. Now, circle the name of this flume. Where are we standing with this flume? Now, I want you to write down at least 2 words that can describe this type of soil. If you remember me putting my finger in the soil, that might give you 1 word right there. And number 4, circle the type of soil that we have right here in this flume. So on this construction site, we see this clay soil that's kind of been scraped clean. And down here at the bottom of the flume, you see these little obstacles, these things right down here at the bottom. They represent silt fence. This is a silt fence. You probably see this at a construction site all the time. This orange fencing that's made out of plastic and has these holes in it. And this fence is put there to try and keep soil from eroding all the way off of a construction site. Because those construction workers, they're not trying to ruin this place. They are trying to make sure that some of that soil stays behind. Because those workers and those builders, they're trying to build homes and businesses for everybody, and we need those places. But we need to make sure that when we build buildings, we're doing it in a good way, that we're not ruining the area when we're done with it, and that it gets to look natural when they are finished. So construction is a very good thing, but we need to do it responsibly. So let's take a look at how this flume will react when we put water on it. So here we go. We've got half a bucket of water, and I'm gonna pour it right here on the top of this flume. And there it goes. Wow. Did you see that? Did you see that water go down? That was pretty impressive. So now that you've seen what happened on this construction site, let's talk about a few other things that we can observe from what happened on this flume. Let's answer some questions about what happened when it rained on this construction site. So the first question we have to answer is, did some of the water soak into the soil here? I mean, I still see a lot of water kind of sitting on top, and a lot of the water just ran right down the flume. Now, what was the speed of the water that you observed going down this flume? Was it really slow or did it move really fast? Let's take a look at the water and see what the water that came out the other end of this flume looks like. How would you describe this water looking inside? Would you say this water is clear or cloudy? Would you say it's chunky? Would you say there's a color to this water? After looking at that water, what processes did we see on this flume? Did we see any erosion? Did we see any deposition? What about flooding? Did we see any flooding? Now, if you said yes to all three of those answers, you are absolutely right. Because all of that topsoil that was in the middle, a lot of it's down there now, or it's in the water. And if that soil moved, that's erosion. And if it got left down there, that's deposition. And what did the water do when it got down to here where there's some obstacles in the way, some things blocking it from getting all the way out? Did you notice how the water actually went over the sides of the flume? That's flooding. So all three of those processes happened with this flume right here. Now, our next question, did people do something to this habitat? And our last question for this flume, is this habitat polluted or is it natural? What do you think? If you said polluted, I would say you are right, because this is not a natural habitat. Water like this would not be normal. Soil, some of it runs off, but not as much as you find right here running off this construction site. So it's definitely polluted. So this is what happens sometimes with water that runs off construction sites. So talk with your classmates and compare your observations with this flume, and listen to your other classmates about observations from their flumes as well.